I am here with you on YouTube. My channel name is Learn BIM with Nadim, and this is my second week of the BIM training that will be free of cost, of course, in future. Here are my contact details. You can see my email address, WhatsApp, and LinkedIn and YouTube channel. You can reach me out any of these. Okay. First of all, quick introduction about myself. I'm integrating BIM on a large scale project in UK. I have 14 years of experience that include almost 8 to 9 years in BIM environment. I did work on the projects such as HS2, Al Maktoum International Airport, Etihad Rail New Orbital Highway in Qatar, Riyadh Metro in KSA, Rapid Metro Gurgaon, and Pink City Expressway in India. I am about to complete my MSc in Building Information Modeling Management and Integrated Digital Delivery. I was a speaker at BIM Coordinator Summit 2023 and I will be this year there as well. I did my Information Management Practitioner course from Operam Academy and some other courses in BIM. Okay, so today's agenda, as this is our second week of webinar, today's agenda is why BIM adaptation is slow. We will be talking on this topic. Consequently, how can BIM maximize the organization's profitability and how does BIM benefit on the individual level? Okay, ultimately it is good for the organization, but it can be helpful for you too as well. And how to educate about BIM to the BIM practitioners, and last but not least, how to ensure that the produced information, what you are going to produce, will be useful for the end user, that will be your client. Okay, so we will be starting here from the first point in our agenda, why BIM adaptation is slow. So in my career, I found that still BIM is slow, and I have the proof of this that I will be discussing in the last part of this webinar. So first reason of being beam adaptation slow is lack of the expertise. And of course, you can agree on this with me because of expert in the market are not as much available as the demand is nowadays. Second one is the lack of awareness, lack of training, shift in attitude, resistance to change, cost versus benefit, lack of cooperation between the involved stakeholders and the trust as well. So if we start from the first point, that is lack of expertise, you can agree with me that still we don't have the manpower that is expert enough in their fields. Okay, second point is the awareness. I can see a lot of the misconceptions are on YouTube and LinkedIn. People are writing, still people are writing about the terms that are outdated. Okay, some sort of the terms I see, and even I used to ask on LinkedIn, is it still there? And they said we don't know. Literally, they are just resharing. So what I'll say, please learn BIM from a source that is confident enough that you are getting up-to-date knowledge. Okay, that could be any source like ISO 19650 series and UK BIM framework. Okay, then third is lack of training. Training of BIM nowadays, I can see, is a bit expensive. Even I went through some of them, and that is why I am here to train you at free of cost. And one of the uh, factor that is putting BIM on a slower pace, that is shift in attitude. Some of the old school people don't like to change their attitude. They don't want to upgrade themselves. They are saying, okay, we are pretty good with plain CAD. They don't want to learn the new things. And there is something you will see in your future, that shift in attitude. Okay, and resistance to change is somehow the same thing. Cost versus benefit is a factor that is applicable, in my opinion, on the small scale companies where the softwares are, uh, softwares are really expensive enough to purchase, and companies are avoiding, and they are just uh, okay with the plain CAD and that sort of the things. Then lack of cooperation and trust between the stakeholders is something also that plays a role in the BIM adaptation slowness. Now, how BIM can maximize the organizational profitability? That is my second agenda for today. So, if we talk about the various aspect of a project life cycle, we will be starting from the planning stage. How it can be beneficial for an organization level. Okay, so with the help of BIM, an organization can get the effective, intelligent model that can help the organization to get the volumes and clash detection strategy or clash strategies, something like that. Okay, then structural MEP, HVAC, and sustainability analysis can be performed easily, and efficient information exchange over the CDE, that is called Common Data Environment. In our upcoming webinars, I will be talking more about the CDE and its benefit. For now, you just need to understand that CDE is called the Common Data Environment. It's a sort of the solution provided by different software vendors that help us to get our data on track or a proper audit trial as per ISO 19650 series. The next benefit from BIM is accurate cost estimation, quantity takeoff, and time scheduling for bidding process. This is something that a 3D intelligent model can help you with. Okay, unified standard role and documents to use for risk reduction and QA QC. Ultimately, the unified standards are there to use, and those standards are very much, unique. So it really help at planning stage. Okay, now we are coming to the designing stage. Time scheduling 4D and costing called 5D is there. BIM can benefit or facilitate at design stage with these two 4D and 5Ds. Construction system design and site utilization can be performed. Digital fabrication and offsite manufacturing is my favorite one. Risk mitigation and effective calibration is there. Okay, let's talk about the digital fabrication. What do you understand with the digital fabrication? That is something you are doing in your 3D models. So, digital fabrication. Digital fabrication is something, let's take it with an example. So, you are preparing your 3D model. Within that 3D model, you are creating a door or window or whatever. So, before its fabrication on site, you do have it in your virtual model, and you can provide the dimensions, the details of it to your client. So digital fabrications avoid the clashes, and that really helps to save money for your client. Now we will be talking about the construction stage and how it can help the organization to increase the profitability. So with the asset objectives and information requirement, existing condition and site analysis can be performed, cost estimation can be performed, and phase planning and programming. So all these are, if we talk about the cost estimation, from your 3D model, you can calculate your cost easily. This is what I did in my with my last employer. Phase planning and programming can also be performed with 4D and 5D. So all these Ds are there. And finally, what we are meant to be, why we are creating our 3D models or all these data management, why we are doing this. Ultimately, we are doing it for our clients that will be used in operational phase of that asset. So here asset means anything you have, like your building, your road, your bridges, that is called asset in ISO 19650 terminology. So with the help of BIM, maintenance and scheduling is easily can be performed, efficient space management and tracking, embedded sensor and telemetry, that is somehow you can say the I twin type of the digital twin type of the ideas are there. and these are being executed in today's world. Disaster prediction and planning can be performed, monitoring energy efficiency accurately. So monitoring energy efficiency accurately can be performed with the help of the different kind of the sensor that's used to send the signals to the central model. Okay, so this can be performed. Now we are coming to next point. Okay, these are the points. Uh, Organization is getting benefit out of your models, or sorry, out of your BIM process. That could be in the form of 3D model and data in it, and different sort of the facilities are there. But how about me as a BIM modeler? What I will get out of it? So as a BIM modeler, I remember my older days, or my earlier days in 2000. It was 2007 and 6, 7 and 8. Okay, it was 2007 and 8 when I started my career as a design draftsman. So I remember my stupid errors still. Those sort of the errors, like mm, I was updating the plan, but I used to forget sometime the elevation or the cross section that need to be adjusted accordingly. But nowadays, with the help of 3D model, you can see that you can have the better visuals with this 3D model. You can just put a line, a cross section line, and the cross section will be there. Elevation will be there, and there is no room for any sort of error. It is pretty easy nowadays. And if we comes next point, that is the available libraries you are having. So if you are not having the available libraries, you can write it to your central beam, they can provide it to you, and means no need to reinvent the wheel. If there are some minor correction, they can provide it to you. And those libraries used to be root wise. Those libraries used to be for a company internal use. So if it is created one time, it can be used several times with the other BIM modelers or BIM coordinators. This is how time is being saved. You don't need to put your extra effort in it. And next point is available authoring tools. There are the several available authoring tools in the market, such as Revit, Open Building Designer, AutoCAD, MicroStation, OpenRoad, and all these authoring tools are available in the market that really helps the BIM modelers to prepare their 3D models easily. Okay, it's a new era of construction without a doubt. And as a BIM modeler, you can learn content, you can create the content, you can do the modeling and drawing production easily. If you have ever been through this process, you know that how easy it is to produce the drawing end of the day once your model is properly created. Okay, now we are coming to the next point, that is BIM coordinator, how it can be beneficial for BIM coordinator. So I remember earlier when people was having the 2D drawings, he was putting the 2D drawing of one discipline over another. For instance, architectural guys, we get the uh, 2D drawings from architectural personals, and as a structure person, we was putting our 2D drawing over it if it is the same scale. If it is not, we will change our scale and then we will put it over it. There was the room of errors. Clash detection was not so easy that time, but nowadays for BIM coordinator or coordinational person, it is very easy to check the multidisciplinary coordination and clash detection, clash avoidance, clash checking is there, and there is the strong chances of professional or personal growth. You can have a clear picture of virtual model versus reality model. So I was on my last project where I saw the construction process on site, and I used to come to my site office and I used to compare between these two. So nowadays it is getting really easy for us to check these two. As a BIM coordinator, you are having the different aspect of learning, training, execution of the plan, model auditing, model coordination, and content creation. And I have no doubt that all these jobs are pretty easy with the available tools. Is in the sense, if you will use the old school process, you cannot perform all these uh, jobs efficiently. But with the help of BIM, it is easy, you know. So next, if we talk about the next agenda, that is how do you educate the modelers about BIM? So, first of all, I would like to educate my modelers or my colleagues. First of all, I am going to tell them the fundamentals and introduction to BIM. This is what I did in my last webinar, you know, and this is also the leading webinar of that one. That's why I'm talking about the very much basics of BIM. But don't worry, in our upcoming session, we will be talking in depth of the BIM. So, next thing is, if I am a head of the department, I am going to provide the hand-on trainings of BIM tools, and I would like to you guys to participate in the BIM industry events. I would like to invite here on this YouTube channel the expert from different field that will be training you for different BIM authoring tools such as AutoCAD, MicroStation, Revit, OpenRoad, Open Building, and so on and so forth. Then, as a organization, I must have the training budget allocation for this sort of the personal and professional growth, at least 4 hours a week. This is what is minimum recommended. And next is the example showcase and BIM certifications. So these are the points that can help really the BIM modelers to grow in their specific field. Next. So next point is how to ensure that the produced information will be useful for the end user or your client. So, you know, why we are creating our 3D models, why we are creating all this data management, why we are working on the information management. So it is all for the end users, that is your client or appointing party or whoever is called in your language. So first of all, we should have a clear BIM workflow that defines that how we are going to do something. Okay. Second point is we should have the clear expectations and requirement from our client. Third is collaborative approach. If we are not having a collaborative approach, we are not doing the BIM. Okay, and we should utilize the common data environment, the CDE. There are the several CDE are available in the market, such as uh, let's say BIM 360 is there, Autodesk Construction Cloud is there, and after that one we are having the project wise. That is the powerful enough, you know. Then we should create the clear documentation, then implement quality assurance measures should be in place that you know defines how we are going to assure our quality. Now next is the engaged stakeholder throughout the process. So now I'm going to talk about 88 year of construction industry research. There are some research paper you can see on the screen. I went through that is 1934, 44, 64, and 65. Okay, I will highly recommend you to please have a look on this research paper if you want to have a deep dive in BIM. Then, if you'll see the next construction industry studies in 1976 done by D. Crescio, called Building Research Establishment, there was the observation where he defined that the construction industry is having a lack of design coordination. There are the unclear information. There are the lack of management, planning, spatial coordination, and checking. After that one, if you'll see 1994, Constructing the Team by Sir Michael Latham, the same things was being repeated, and he added into it like construction industry is ineffective, adversarial, fragmented, and incapable of delivering for its customer. What does it mean? There was the issues in 1976, and again those issues was available in the market. Those issue was recurring in 1994, but you will be amazed to see that in 1998 the same issues was there, and there was the addition like construction industry is low profitability and little research and development is there, lack of trainings are there, and ultimately dissatisfied customer or client. If your client is not happy enough with you, of course you are not going to get the payment as per your expectations, and there will be always the fight between two. And I feel till the time we are also facing the same issues that was being raised in 1976, 94, and 98. Still, we are having the unclear information. Sometime there are the management issues, planning, and you see unclear information, little research and development. But however, I have no hesitation to say that BIM has overcome on some of these issues. For instance, research and development is going on and trainings are going on, and I feel these points that was raised in 98 was a bit, covered up. Okay, now in next point, I would like to show you the BIM resources that are available in the market. You can see here that Autodesk University is available to educate you. OpenAM Academy is there for BIM training, BSI certifications are there, some BIM Institute are there. LinkedIn Learning, I will highly recommend LinkedIn Learning. BIM forums are there, and of course, your YouTube channel, Learn BIM with Nadim, that is there. And most of them are paid, but my YouTube channel is not paid, and I can that my YouTube channel will not be paid for you. It is free and it will be free. So here I request you to please spread my YouTube channel among your friends, your BIM lovers, so that they will also get the benefit of a free training center or a free training, mean to you guys. And here are my contact details. You can reach me out on my email, WhatsApp, LinkedIn, or YouTube. That is Learn BIM with Nadim, and it is free and it will be free. Okay. Now next is any question. If you do have any question, please type it in the comment box, or you can reach me on my WhatsApp. I will be there to reply any of your queries or any of your doubts. You are more than welcome there. And thank you everyone to give your time to me, and have a nice day. Bye bye.